Volair updates their Mach 2 line with a new thermoform design. The Mach 2 Forza features a non-elongated paddle shape for extra power and a forgiving sweet spot. The paddle comes in 2 paddle thicknesses, 16mm for more control and 14mm for added power, weighing in at an average weight of 7.9 ounces for the 14mm and 8.1 ounces for the 16mm. The Mach 2 Forza is crafted with a polypropylene honeycomb core and a raw T700 carbon fiber hitting surface. I've been a big fan of Volair paddles, with one of them being my current paddle of choice, and I've pretty much play tested every paddle they come out with. And like the previous paddles, this Mach 2 Forza for me feels really premium in hand. From the surface to the grip, everything feels really nice and comfortable for me. What were your first impressions?
Well, my first thoughts with this paddle was that the head shape was a little bit unique to me. It's shorter, it's a little bit wider, and that was something I had to get used to, in which that made the review a bit mixed for me. But I'll start with the positives, and the positive for me was that this paddle felt really quick up at the kitchen. Because it is a little bit more compact, I felt like the sweet spot was closer to my hand. I felt like it was part of my hand. It's probably the fastest feeling paddle I've tested in a long time, so I really liked it for those quick volley exchanges. Also liked it for those spin-up shots. Even when I'm below the net, I felt like I could just flick my wrist and get topspin on it and get it to drop in. Yeah,
I have to agree with you. For me, I did have a bit of an adjustment period just to get used to the head shape. I was finding the ball landing a little bit closer to my hand, so I had to get used to that sensation. But for the positives, I thought that it was a little bit more of a forgiving sweet spot for me, and I felt a little bit more connected to the ball because it was the ball was landing closer to my hand. Negatives for me was I didn't get as much reach, and I like to really swing out after the ball, so just getting used to that feel and the timing. Like you, I really enjoyed the paddle up at net. I thought it was really maneuverable, but still very stable as well, so I loved getting into quick volley exchanges. And from all areas of the court, I thought that the paddle offered great spin potential.
Yeah, I agree. The spin I thought was really good thanks to that carbon fiber face. I also really liked it for the power level. I was playtesting this one side by side with the original Mach 2, and I noticed that this one just has more pop to it. It also felt a bit more firm to me. Preference-wise, I do like the little bit softer feel, but yeah, definitely this one has more pop to it.
Now, for my favorite shot with this paddle, I had to say it was the serve, surprisingly for me. I got that good pop on it. I also was able to be really precise with it, so I hit a lot of balls that were kind of low net clearance, so I was able to kind of make my opponent go down and reach it. Also combined with that good spin, it was just a really good combo for me, and I was getting a lot of free points.
Yeah, I definitely noticed some of those dipper shots and where we had to kind of pop it up and then you would put it away. The negatives for me was at the baseline. I felt ground strokes, like you had mentioned, I just had to get used to it. I'm not used to the contact point being a little bit shorter, and so I was framing shots more than I was used to, and it just definitely took some adjusting.
Now, we play tested both thicknesses, the 14mm and the 16mm. We have a very similar taste, so I think I know what your favorite is, but my favorite was the 16mm. And for me, because it is a very powerful paddle, I needed a little bit more control to just keep my shots in the court.
Yeah, you're right. I prefer the 16 for the same reason. I felt like it just gave me a bit more control, a bit more dwell time on the paddle, so I could just swing out a bit more. So that wraps it up for this review of the new Mach 2 Forza from Volair. For more information on this paddle or anything else pickleball related, make sure you go to totalpickleball.com.